Well, let's go ahead and jump into the action. Fracture to start.
Okay, we got Boom on attack. We got DFM on defense. Nothing crazy in terms of the raid bosses.
At the ready, though. Pretty much mirrored compositions. Key difference just going to be the Killjoy.
See how fast Famous gets his op out.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of that just comes down to, you know, how you're going to manage your B control when you're on that defender side. So for DFM here, actually,
okay, we like this. We're speaking about
Famous is in,
and we can. Oh, dude, it's gonna be so fast. I'll speak about it in a bit.
Comes away 2 kills. Art and Ken both going to be eliminated here. As looking for the concuss setup and HP bars at the moment on the side. Up Boom, getting lower and lower, but DOS9 able to go ahead and push forward into the tower. Breaks open the site. Now it's going to be on Mei and Jinbong to see if they can try to turn this around.
Casters up a bit.
Push under the corner, finding one off-screen.
Dude, 2v4.
For the kill on a Berserk. DOS9 dings.
Dude, they're getting 2v4.
With he and Shiro dangerously low. The flank, however, coming through is this scout, and he strikes. Finds the headshot in Mei. Holding it to half now. Needs to fight his way out of the 1v2.
One enemy remaining.
Shot to the chest. Finding one more. Just the one tap to deal with Shiro.
Oh
The spawn out. Mei down to 10 HP. Peeking in towards Canteen, but now the salvo cycled back up, buying more time.
He's got to tap
Waiting
again.
on the angle.
Come here to die.
The retap. He's just got to try to hold for this. The swing out, coming through Mei. He pulls off with the defuse.
This is
He might have just been
mental.
able to have it, but now he certainly
No!
does not.
Oh my goodness. Dude, I thought he was going to miss. That was crazy. That was actually like a super doable 2v4 in the end. Shiro played this insanely well.
Boom there, able to get into
I
those
was
plant
gonna
positions
say,
and play
like, if you look in the two
very,
comps,
very
you got like the
efficiently by
Vice comp, you
Shiro,
got the Killjoy comp. I do think that
using
people were
those
starting to play the Vice comp on this map, and then teams started to work out how to play against the Vice comp, so less teams are doing it at the moment. NRG was a good example yesterday. You know, super aggro on their defense. And this round right here was like an example of where the Killjoy and the kind of Cyphers are good against this. Where they did the 4-1, they did this turret here, spotted early info, and they managed to get away. And then make a call knowing that they were going for some kind of pinch. So I definitely think when I first watched the Vice, I was like, damn, this is actually the future. But I think teams are getting pretty good at working out how to play against it.
Yep, clean as you like. Let's see what DFM now, rifles in hand, can do, but 3 Bulldogs carried over. See if there's much in the way of buy-ups. Yeah, a rifle for Shiro. Still going to hold on to the Marshall. And yeah, just a nice relay bolt, using the salvos to clear a little space. Nice work by Famous.
Is Boom the best
Really
team in
good
Pacific? I'm
overall
not sure.
this year. I mean, obviously a lot of
Looking
people
like it.
talking about his
I
hopping.
honestly
That's
think
gonna be
RQ is really good as well.
For this Boom squad and
T1,
for Famous, but
when it matters, will
also
probably
just run
step
in
up a
there
lot,
and
even though they're
do
Icebox, they're going to
some of
lose
the
to
dirty
everyone.
work for Boom. Speaking of,
It's
Famous though does get held at bay.
dude, this region's so close.
For the moment. One shots through. Not making any connection here, so for now the triple stack from the side of DFM still full HP, looking to regress and re-clear some space here.
I like this. You know, make sure that if they're going to go B, they're going to have to go through some of those setups and traps, and they're not going to be able to take aiming cleanly, but they're going to change direction. They're a little unsure of what's going on behind them, so they have to go towards Dish. Send Mei out there to get a little info, but this stealth drone just got a lot.
Wall's been found. It's Jinbong.
Oh.
Nice timing. Peeks out.
Didn't really love the strat from Boom on this one, but
timing. Gets away with minor damage taken, but he's going to be able to find that opening kill.
Got to worry about the breach. The fault line, of course, and then the follow-up stun could come from Akame. So him and Art maybe going for a play. We'll see.
Fault line going to be sent. Pretty much everybody other than Famous getting caught by that. Famous is going to be taken down. Art, that aftershock placement comes away with that kill.
30 seconds left.
this is nicely done from DFM.
Not even sure Famous got hit by the fault
Smokes
line.
go
Maybe
in.
another PCU got
They
him.
insta smoke back. Everyone plays in front of the smokes.
Smoke is able to find one. It's going to be a team ace here.
Boom managing to get the kills,
Down
kind
the
of big
side
though.
DFM, but otherwise,
Do a
not
little bit of
bad
damage.
bonus round at all, so they get themselves on the board.
Yeah, I like the ideas from DFM in that round to kind of take some more hull control. And then, you know, when they feel like the timing, when they're not exactly sure what's going on, they're using the drone to get the read and then slotting players over. Just good timing from Jinbong. That's all you can say about that. I was kind of curious about the Famous kill, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it in the replay. Good reactions from GN.
Crazy, the other
Kame up on
Bangkok
top of
teams
site.
might not make Toronto.
That's very well
outside of
handled.
G2
Very
and
good
Liquid.
macro from DFM in that round.
It does.
If
I
they
think
can keep it
a
up,
similar thing
again, they're gonna be
happened
committing a lot of those
last
resources
year
towards
as
this A main
well.
battle. Meanwhile,
not to that
Boom's
extent.
gonna change directions. They're gonna try to
But
come
it's
from Dish.
dude, it's very hard to.
Already recognize some of the weakness in the early strategies of DFM.
It's very hard to go. Very hard to go to that LAN, show everything, and then be able to fix everything and be on the same level as everyone else. Especially there was map changes this time as well. Like you just have so much to work on that you just get.
Good for a timing there with a concuss, but
You just have such a disadvantage.
Yep, they're pinging it. Yeah, they seem to know.
Have to fight their way out of here one way or the other.
Dude, I can't believe he feels comfy enough to get his salvos out here. It's nuts.
Okay, Jim, as well as May, coming away with a couple
Dude,
kills.
they handled this nice though. This used to be how
the drag across.
until when teams weren't doing like this fast flood thing, this used to be the most common retake. Dude, this is a nice retake. Because everyone normally has like a crossfire over towards main.
By DFM. It really
it's just a really good retake.
Pretty good round.
And then go heavy over towards main as well. Just block off one side with a smoke, deal with these two.
Able to reset around the A rope. And then find their timing. Just great identification by Akame. He's sitting right by that door, you know, kind of listening to what's going on the other side. And they're able to get the read that there's going to be a player on their left, one on their right. The relay bolt to keep DOS9 pinned while they go for the left-hand side clear. Very nicely organized there by DFM.
And that gets him into the advantageous position here as far as the economy is concerned. Ult-wise as well. In a good spot. The kill round from Jin, able to go ahead and get that.
Hey, force him down to an eco.
DOS9 not too far away.
Oh no, not the hero Bucky, man. The hero Bucky's win rate is way too good.
Grab a couple guns from DFM. Definitely would be considering having that Rolling Thunder be used this round.
After your recommendation, you watch Bolt. Dude, it's a good film, right?
No one else nearby enough for the Bucky to really find value, so Art will be able to trade that one out. But hey, pushing into the smoke.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the win rate with this Bucky.
It's up there by that Sheriff. It's a falling Art, able to find one up and over the top.
Dude, everyone's hitting absolute shots.
And this round, going a bit sideways here for the side of DFM. Now a 2v3 with a recovered weapon in DOS9's hands.
Shiro got his ult off that plant too.
Kame does manage to find one. Like you said though, Armageddon is available. Flash finding the hit, the swing now coming through, the double face. Zakame chasing in, finding the first. Still though, needs to get the kill.
Oh wait, DOS9 got around the corner, Molly to delay.
As the Molly is going to be jumping over the top of it.
Oh my goodness, has to go through because of the time.
Yeah,
dude, that's
I mean, just
the win rate of the Bucky, man. The solo Bucky win rate is just way too high. Especially when people are using Neon. It feels like it always gets the first kill.
But
and the overdrive was used.
The overdrive was used by May?
Or Famous.
By Famous. Oh, he had popped it before he
yeah, Famous popped it to go spawn.
Trigger the animation there right before he died.
Got it.
So. Oh, that's.
He's got aura.
That's very good.
Is very confused by the.
The confused look that he tried to disrespect his Brim Molly.
May's got an op though. Okay.
Oh, that tickled me good.
He's a funny guy.
Oops, missed the drone on this one. This guy's incredibly bold playing Heaven with a tail.
Past his ear. Kill not coming through. Orbital strike
Oh
going to be called in.
boy.
Try to slow things up.
It's a lot of ults to DFM early here on this, and they don't get too much. Tail all goes in as well. May's isolated because the tail means he has to go forward. Dude, tail ult is so good. I said this as soon as I saw this agent. It's the top 5 ult. It's so strong with a bit of fall. The amount of times the tail ult goes in and just... Like, I think you should be winning every round with that.
Make a go of it right now, but then Gian falling, that should put the final nail in the
amount of
coffin
times like someone has to commit or it splits them up.
Blood, looking for a little bit more swings, makes it even more costly for them. Kame trying to escape, but Famous nearby. Here's the door. Question is, when does he pull the trigger and try to get
Hamster and Bolt? Dude, the guy's funny, man. It's not the reason why, but
can they get there in time?
He's a legend.
Like he might just get away with it. So yeah, not fast enough to encroach, so Akame will be left alive. The lone survivor, however, is Boom now.
Dude, Cuba told me to watch
yeah, this is just really awkward. The
Puss in
orbital
Boots
strike
too?
a little bit late.
Apparently that's a banger.
Just a rotation or just kind of a
He's saying it's like one of his favorite
miscommunication there
films.
for GN. And then that Armageddon, very well placed, pushes May into a very uncomfortable spot. He has to run out towards Arcade and just is
They're
not
really
quite
that good,
ready.
yeah.
You know, he thought maybe, okay, well, our orbital strike just cleared this spot. Maybe I can get in there and get planted, but Boom had already re-cleared that space.
Overdrive popped, and great timing on the swing. Famous taken down. Meanwhile, big push.
Oh, this is
coming
a weird
through as there's
one.
a rolling thunder. Try to get onto the rope. The answer is no. Shiro stunned up just next to it. Meanwhile,
It's
it looks like Boom has no
absolutely
idea this crunch is still coming through from that piece
it's
on
a
the map.
devastating
Dust9 here
crunch,
within the smoke,
and
simplifying
Boom
one.
are on
Gen comes up with 3.
completely
Things get
different
chaotic.
pages.
DFM goes
Like
for a
no
crunch
one here
and
is
ends up
playing
working out
together.
well.
Instead of
That's
smoking
really,
off
really
one of the
nice play
chokes
from
and
Art
fighting
there,
together,
setting out that
my
rolling
Brim's
thunder,
smoking off
and
himself,
then just pushing out ahead.
leaving this guy on his own.
Great
As
play.
the rest of the
May
team
is
here
able
are
to stall
fighting
enough
over
after he
towards
gets that
main.
first kill, throws the relay
Like
bolt to
this
the
looked
fast
like
lane out.
ranked right here.
Then you've just got
Look at
shooting gallery
Dust9,
for
bro.
GN.
On all
That's so
flanks.
funny.
I mean, that's been the kind of part of their game here in the early part is just keep pressuring A Hall and see what you can get off of that. And this time they change it up a bit, also put some pressure from B main. See if they're
He's
just
got
gonna
to
keep
smoke
doing
off
that
one of
back
the
towards
chokes if he's smoking
northern side
himself
of the
here,
map, it looks
surely.
like for Boom, but seemingly decently well read initially and change of direction for Boom. They don't like what they see.
Famous in theory
a
is
little bit like a
in
trap,
trouble.
well,
they know
speaking of trap,
Famous, yeah.
Famous is now completely and utterly surrounded on the north side. He's going to have to fight his way out. It's
Oh.
going to be good for one. Does manage to get the Armageddon out. Boom, or DFM rather now.
I kind of like this
realizing
from Boom, by the way. We spoke about this a little bit yesterday, right? When we had Lev did a default over towards A with 4 people, Dish against a
really
Teo ult,
John Bit.
which is like a no-go. You can't do that these days.
Still,
Boom did it with
Dust9
Famous who
consider
can run out
was
and
the
beat
Steel
the
Garden.
timing.
Primary's
Like
jammed
just
up.
in case they know it, like kind of just baiting it.
His way forward.
Just knowing that it's up.
Shorty
No
over the line
way.
of the rope,
No
and Hart
way.
Just getting a little bit too frazzled. Too many targets, gets distracted economy at the same time. However, able to come away with 3 eliminations.
Yeah, we got a Brim Molly as well. Can you even,
Trying to find their way back into this
can
one.
we even
Shiro
shoot it
has
from
the
here?
ball and
Dude, Molly
Molly
himself.
not landing. Might have been body blocked. Can't quite tell. Either way,
Dude,
a
this is
4K
a disaster
Akame
round for
gets
everyone
DFM
involved as well.
tied up.
Yeah, just really good
He's
patience. A
scrappy.
nice tap of the spike there, this time by May, and an immediate runaway from it to force out that orbital strike, get that big ultimate away. Art had a moment here, but you could tell that coming from a lot of different angles was something Boom was having a tough time dealing with. Obviously, the Steel Garden makes you a little more comfortable to push some of that space. A great find there from the sewers. Just really nice stuff from DFM in terms of being aware of the map, being aware of the space they could take.
Okay,
Better
here it
ultimate
is
usage
again.
this time.
The attack
That is
Baki.
much more of what they're going to need
Tell you
here.
what, DFM,
This is very tough Boom squad.
DFM are
Be lining
doing
up for
good,
a
but
B-crunch this time.
I will say, if Boom go aggro
They'll
on
be
their
read pretty
defense, they
quick.
should
Yeah,
be
no
alright.
contact early, just immediately sends Art over back through defender side spawn. Clear the drone for GN. He's just going to try to hold that angle.
Push now coming through. A couple blind shots as the smoke blooms. Dive forward. Jen. Full turn gets a
Kind of got a
180
lot of
there.
info though.
Land the shot onto Famous. Molly now. Tipped up, bounced into the air a little bit. Creates a bit of space, but Shiro pushing. Still able to find one. Art going to be dropped. Still, though, firm control of the site and round for the side of DFM.
He's still got a player stuck up in tower, too. See Boom thinking about the rotate, but
Oh, Stinger doing
Corey,
Stinger
thanks for
things. Jen
sending that,
taken
dude.
down.
Thank you so much,
There's a
dude.
window here, but May doing well. Notes the sewer position.
And is up and
Shiro
lows
now
until
getting
the
caught.
next 2 weeks.
yeah,
No,
they have
it's
to
like
go
the
for
last,
rotate. I mean, that was a big kill for DOS9.
Is it
to
4
alleviate
games?
Some of that pressure.
4 or 3 games? I
Open
think
up
it's
the
the last
space, but
4
still gonna be
games.
difficult.
They're like all on the
May
same
was doing a
weekend.
great job there. Didn't overpush. Just stayed in tree. Watched for that sewers hit. Took care of business.
30 seconds left.
Got a couple players
It's
left.
going to be crazy.
See what they can do. Boom, though. Still fearsome with those sheriffs, as we've already seen. DOS9 with a rifle. Be a little bit tricky.
Chinese is because they're doing playoffs in a different city? Oh, really?
Salvo's
That's kind of cool, though.
I mean, which angles does he go for? Looks like it's just going to be a double send over towards drop, which now with NC Slasher getting taken down because the site is open. DOS9 able to find the first tap. It's so damn clean. The Molly.
Not the
looking for
Molly
a drop
again, it's
down,
gone too
swings the
far.
corner, May. Trying to push out. We'll be able to find the headshot in the Molly.
Dude,
It's a bit too
someone
deep.
please teach
Even then,
DOS9
the time
some
would have
lineups.
been there. DFM 3 in a row now as they take the lead.
I mean, just really good awareness
honestly,
again from
on this
DFM
one, I
in
imagine
a lot
there
of
isn't
different
much.
parts of
Well,
this round. Everybody
could
doing their
maybe hit
job.
it
I'm
off the
not
wall,
seeing many players over-aggress or peek the wrong angle. You know, here, GN and Jinbung are doing a good job of holding down the different angles. Even though GN goes down trying to clear tower, that's still not a bad move at all. I mean, DOS9 is very good, but sending the salvos there, the awareness that a player could be there, and a DFM view party has something to cheer about as they are up right now, 5-4.
Need to try to get a couple more.
Good start, especially on the defender side of Fracture. They really look well prepared on this map today. It really looks like they have just good protocols built in terms of, you know, when you're watching the early part of the map, there was no contest at A Hall. Boom, back over to the other side with your breach. They send Art over. He's there to help reinforce the B side immediately, sensing that there's going to be pressure if there's no util sent out. Some
Jay
fans
Money
in the audience.
Jay Money, thank you so much for the tier 1.
Along, Mom.
Appreciate the 5 months. And Brisk with the tier 1 as well. Thank you for the 5 months also.
Here on this very nice Monday evening.
Oh, gorgeous. I walked to the studio today. Gorgeous.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, gorgeous weather.
Surprised you didn't get lost.
It's not too hard to get here from my house, thankfully.
Surprised you didn't get lost.
I mean, at this point, I'd suspect, you know, if the police saw you, they'd pull over and be like, "Sir, are you okay?"
You know, you get those alerts for missing people. Yeah. Someday you're gonna see one for me, and
just feeling, nah, screw it.
Yeah, you just do what you usually do, just delete the message.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, DFM though, gamble right on this one. We've got 4 people over towards here, and it looks like we want to do some kind of punish, so it does feel like Berserks is in trouble. Does he eat the stun? Do they stun? They don't stun? Okay, well.
Little slip of the wheel there is a Kame. Yeah, no. Quick to reply, finding Berserks. 1 for 1 as May just dashing around, and some cut down. NC Slasher quickly cleans up the follow-up there.
Are they
just the hair off. Jinbun goes to the reload.
Shot.
Oh, man, doesn't even matter. Famous is just way too fast with it.
Sent out the concuss, and he played off the back of that. Really nice combo from Boom. Good time out there, sneaking a player around the corner.
It's a shame though, if Boom committed to their...
Then Famous hits, or excuse me, NC Slasher hit some really
I mean, they wanted
shots.
to punish it. It's not like it's an off the bat.
And Art just nothing much to do now except try to save. Just a matter of, can Boom sniff him out?
I think they probably have to just do the stun to swing this anyway to make it safer, but I get why you'd want to be silent so that you can
should be good to hold on to the weapon here for now. Spike will detonate. Timeout call, working a treat here. Boom, just kind of upping the pace a little bit. Catching that forward push out of B main. Off guard. With DFM suffering the round loss. Now we get tied up.
DFM can no longer qualify. Nah, this is pretty much just practice for them, really, because
it's a great answer.
They're not going to have enough.
Just a few aggressive early positions.
No matter what,
to cut off
teams are
some
going
of
to
these
beat them in champ points.
Forces of DFM, they're sending out pushes early on some of these mains
So
to try
if
to
they
get
keep in the
info,
same roster,
and you're finding a
then
good
this is
response.
practice
So
for stage 2.
Six Fingers, as always, doing a great job with this team. Kind of
There's a map that won't be here though.
This time they're going to play a bit further back. Still looking for some
Dude,
of that aggression.
Sunset with Teo is going to be an absolute disaster.
May are trying to
we
clear
gotta
out
change.
Dish.
We gotta change this.
They should give them a pretty
we gotta be
decent
nerfing
read
this
that
agent before this map
the
comes
north
in.
side's not going to be a problem just yet. Oh, GN though.
No, not good timing. Berserk's having a little bit of a rough go of it here. Good to just keep an eye on that smoke. Jen does take a bit of damage, but has the orbital online now. As May looking to tuck back, really also finding a connection, and I'm getting crashing across a Kame. It's taken out here. Cheryl finds a kill to open up this A site. Famous now over a drop, finds Art, takes him down a dish, no further pressure coming that way, but double drop out from the rope. Jinbung is able to come away with one as DOS9 will get dropped.
Good coordination on that drop.
Yeah, they just have to duel out on site.
Couple little taps there. Already had him low, but Jinbung.
Definitely a fair amount of rounds from Boom where it feels like they could prioritize.
May diving forward, the shots now
Oh
coming
my
through,
goodness.
and Shiro adjusts to collect them both.
Yeah, it's rough on
3K
that one.
overall in the round.
There's a couple of rounds, especially in the after plants, where it feels like
at least
Boom could really
temporarily.
prioritize who's like entering and who's meant to be where in the
now
after
that
plants and stuff.
Boom is finding their moments to turn
Right,
up the tempo.
normally
It's
when you're
catching
watching this, you
DFM just a
got
bit off guard.
pay or brim like the last alive
expecting that Famous had already gotten
every
up all the
single
way
time
through
to make
drop
sure they
like
can use their afterplant util.
And then a good drop off the rope. Jeez, that's a great shot from Jinbung, but May doesn't check that corner. And by the time he's switching back to the gun, Shiro's already got him tracked down. Just expecting that there'd be players in towards A main. Not ready for somebody to still be waiting on site for DFM, but close to
maybe they do have them and they're just playing a little differently
from theirs.
for the
Do
demos.
have the Armageddon for Akame. Zerx does have his for like kind of the tic-tac-toe with the lockdown.
Double stun on this.
Boom, very wary about further aggression here.
This double stun's gonna wreck them, right?
This trap setup, relay bolt into the fault line.
That's an incredible shot.
Head right before he can swing the corner. NC Slasher
How's this guy
counter-swinging back
how's
in.
this guy not stunned?
Does manage to find one. As Art almost bites off a little bit more than he can chew. Down to 14 HP, backpedals over towards safety here within the site.
I do feel like 6 is still enough from Boom against this comp.
Depends on his timing.
But if they don't go aggro enough on defense, then it's not.
He's looking to dissuade and delay an approach through the halls. Still sticking around. Now is trying to escape. He is going to be detained. Saw make their way forward here, though, into the site. They try to go for the plant. Akame drifting across now, gets set up underneath the site. And widely, I mean, now they're kind of screwed. It's just the spike in hand here on NC Slasher. Position completely known. Would have to fight his way out in a 1v4. DFM, they're going to tie things up 6-6 here. Barring an absolute miracle from this breach. Swap to the shorty. First pump. Going wide.
Okay, there. I still think they got enough. I think 6 is too many. We'll see.
No, I mean,
DFM maybe
DFM
need
really map aware today.
They
Communication looks good. The decision making very, very good for the most part. A few kind of odds and ends, but that nice play from May, that double is very, very sick. Having that angle all ready to go when he swings that corner to find that player that's trying to jump away off the back of that relay bolt.
That is not on purpose.
Well drilled, well prepared.
Look at that.
You know, this is a map that looked very shaky, obviously, against Gen G. I mean, the whole series looked shaky for TFM against Gen G, but
Lexi.
You can see the practice is being put in. I like the change to the Neon. It feels like with the relay bolt, they can create a lot more pressure at A main. They can find ways to clear out some of those angles that might be problematic post-plant.
Okay, I'll put it live now.
Things
Lexi,
like that.
Thank you for that.
It definitely looks like DFM is a lot more comfortable. GN is fragging out today, so the Brimstone suits him. Very nice to see. You know, DFM definitely would like to avoid being winless in this stage.
If it's a no-impact game like this, what do you tell your players?
Points,
so it depends. For Boom, this is an impact game though. Like for Boom, you're treating this.
You want to be, you know, coasting into the playoffs.
Treating it like a proper official. DFM the same as well. Like you've obviously had like a bad, you've had a bad season.
You can understand.
You want to try and show to everyone that you actually like know what you're doing and that you can compete.
Thank you, indeed.
Indeed.
Thank you.
I do appreciate the...
you don't treat it too differently, to be honest.
Yeah, I do appreciate that the chat, the Boom supporters just keep typing AU whenever they win rounds. Yeah. It's so good.
You know, it's something to consider is that we might actually have 2 Wolf-based teams at Toronto if Boom.
The NRG Icebox having long-term success. It should do.
No,
so who can out?
They get to fight and see which one's
depends on Mada, but
who can out howl who?
He's pretty consistent.
Which fans? I suspect the Boom fans.
This is what we were speaking about a little bit here, right? It's people at the moment are using the flash-like info to see if you should be getting out of there, but late pushes in the round really own this comp.
They still tour. Oh, looking for the readjust. Jinbung does manage to go ahead and take down one. Meanwhile, back over here.
Great stun.
Stun coming across, and Shiro continuing to frag. Turn to the flash, pushing forward through that fast lane. May able to find him, finds another
you gotta give May way more respect than that.
What a round from May. Doesn't even take that much damage. 75 health still.
There's 6 shots.
If you can not let Berserks outplay you here, you're not setting up for a 1v1 necessarily. It just depends on how wide he swings.
Berserk's able to find it, and suddenly at range, I mean,
ow.
Yeah, you see his own head on his own hand on his own head. I think he knew that he probably shouldn't have gotten that, but he did. And good on him to do so. Both pistols now the way of Boom as they reestablish a lead with a Red Bull clutch.
Yeah, well, that's a heartbreaker. Not a bad idea from DFM there. You know, both guns essentially on top of their opponent, but I mean, this is just ridiculous from May. And then
that
right as
second
the
kill
drop down
is
comes through, ready for the third. That's just a great first shot though from Berserks. And yeah, one more bullet.
Check your posture.
No.
okay. DFM.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
They decide to force into it,
Posture's never good when I'm
Exactly.
passing.
A buy up from DFM though.
which kind of shows you that maybe it
Gonna
hasn't been
gamble.
going super well on attack in
See this
practice.
too often. Even May with a Guardian here. Because of that plant, because of the
That's
number
how
of
I read
kills they
into it
got,
anyway,
you do
but
have a bit of extra.
Maybe they're also
this round
practicing
of
stuff.
Bulldog too.
Like they could be practicing. Maybe they've been using stingers
They haven't
more.
tipped their hand on the guns just yet. It's just
Or
been
just some
util.
G2.
Look at that. Even Akame had the pistol out. Trying to hide this as long as they can. Trying to
If I
find
start
some
whiffing
open
there, just
space
run
on the
away.
map, but
Problem with that is
seemingly
you're
a
gonna
good
get killed
read
as you
from
run
NC
away.
Slasher.
The tagging in this game's too much.
Shift it over
Like
to
once you
this
commit,
side.
you committed.
Just can DFM find their moment, find their opportunity. This is going to be going into Boom's strong side seemingly, and a judge up in tower has to be cleared effectively.
Aftershock will open up that space. As Dawson eating
Oh,
a bit of
that
damage.
was
Beautiful.
lovely
The
there.
salvos beautifully placed. Akame. Don't know exactly where they were going to end up. May puts the Guardian to use, able to find one, but Berserks scooping up 2 kills with that stinger.
Dude, let's get a
Just Akame and Art
let's get
now.
a sting enough as well
Just
while
the
we're at it.
former. And the Force not going to be leading to a round win. Boom. Get the 2-0 start here in the second half that they were looking for all the same, while simultaneously breaking the economy of DFM.
Yeah, the initial idea is really good here from DFM.
Well, DFM are
They
really in trouble now.
hid their guns, the fact that they bought up as long as they could, but Berserk's just in a spot where DFM is busy fighting a couple other players and they can't react quick enough. You know, they clear the site nicely and then they get stuck trying to fight for Gen and Canteen and nobody's there to clear B main. They pay the price. Well handled by Boom though. You know, you lose one player to that util dump, so be it. Everybody else going to be on point to make sure that round doesn't go awry. Grab of the orb. Trying to cycle into some ults for DFM.
Okay. Oh, I like the idea.
Coming their way,
Hold
Shiro
up.
able to draw off the weapon. However,
It's unlucky. It's actually a really
2,
nice
May
idea
only
from
able
them
to
here.
kill a kill off there on the DOS 9, and Shiro
Spike down B.
continuing to deliver. Shoulder to shoulder here alongside the smoke. Jan just
Yeah, you make
Get
the
everything else
exec,
done.
it makes
Game
it
is
look like you're
16
trying to go
around the back.
aggro over towards the site. You
Drone
laid
getting
stun
the
towards this
reveal.
area,
There's
catch him
the
with
shot,
util
the
out.
outlaw to put him
Dude,
down.
if Shiro's not super ready
Boom
for
now
this,
up by 3.
then
Yeah. Essentially
they
a bonus
honestly might have
there
won the
for
Seeker.
Boom, and they clean it up with
good
ease.
call on Nico. I like it.
Decent stun hits them, but they've just got so many players around that area. DFM needs to find some answers on this attacker side. Maybe a change of direction from where they attack from. It's been a lot of B hits. Oh, that's a snappy shot from Shiro. He has looked really solid today. Overall, I mean,
Dragon IGL.
yeah, he's been really good this year. The whole team's
This
been
game
great.
matters for Boom. They need the champ
Everybody's
points.
had their
Yeah.
moments. Everybody's had their
Dude,
step-ups.
imagine they can do
Okay.
good in playoffs as
May
well.
going in
Like
on
if
the
they go
chase,
to
and
Toronto,
Akame actually comes
or if
away
they
with it.
like
Game is
actually
gonna be taken
like
down.
win
Site otherwise not
this
really
playoffs,
occupied. Get a player
man,
forward at door.
they're in like the best
what they're
spot
doing,
ever.
Yeah, just playing this around, not looking to overcommit.
Don't you get quite a lot of champ points for
Facing still some
playoffs? Don't you get
doubt,
like
but now with
5 or
relocate.
something for
Right,
winning?
You got your kill, but you don't have much info on the rest of the map.
For
So you're
winning
not
this?
too sure, you know, where the rest of the Boom forces could be. Could they
Have
be
5 for
main?
fast.
Could they be pushing arcade? You know, Gian's kind of watching it.
Dude, if they
It's
do
not
that,
super far
they've
up.
actually kind of secured champs.
Instead, gonna try to
They
head
could
in
literally
over
secure
towards
champs
the
within
A side.
stage
You
1.
know, you've got a bit of an advantage potentially there. May could pop his ult. Sprint through. We'll see.
4 for
That's
second.
how they want to play it, or if they're
Guess it
gonna
depends what
towards
what
B.
happens to everyone else.
seemingly still trying to decide. But with the crunch coming through from the north side from Akame,
Swing out, minor glimpse. As Salvo is going to be sent to try to further delay. Jinbin will just go off on his own. Pushing forward, looking to see if he can clear some additional space.
Dude, everyone's here for Boom. Can they push through their own smokes? Oh my god, nice shot, dude.
Genius with a headshot, shuts down the overdrive, is able to find Art.
Down A.
Akame tries to fight his way out of this position. Armageddon's coming through, and Akame is doing just that. 3 kills now picked up as Berserks not in a spot to try to interrupt this. Get the ult out of Shiro.
Spike
Still are able to find the plant. potentially keep 3 players alive. This could be a very big swing round here for DFM.
No doubt about it.
Doesn't win this though, right?
Xerxes look good in some of these rounds though.
Okay.
Just a triple face
It's
out.
a lovely way to handle
no one
it.
gets dropped. Weapons do get retained. DFM.
There's a website with Liquipedia has it
shorten
all.
the gap. Now just 2 rounds. between the two
Liquipedia's
of
pretty good
Yeah,
with
and
champ points, and
starting to
who's-
see some of this
and
better
like has-
game planning
I think has a
from
leaderboard
DFM
for it
today.
as well.
They're exploring the map. They're not overcommitting. You find your pick, and then re-clear some of the space, figure out what's going on around the map before they make their move. It looked like maybe Shiro was just going to shut this down, but took enough damage. Kame, quick reactions from him. And then the triple swing out. Very well timed, very well coordinated. Can DFM start a little bit of a run back? Because now Famous has that operator that he is so well known for.
Okay, the one thing that I think Boom can add, it doesn't have to happen now, it can happen a little bit later, is maybe like the aggro pushes. It's a lot harder when you want to get the op out as well, so maybe when they have low money and they kind of get the ults.
Pushed up a little bit. Maybe able to catch a DFM player off guard if they were to try to make their
Because what
way
ends up
for
happening
Cade.
if you play too
DFM
defensive and too
are
tailed
raised and
against
spotted.
this
He
is
rotates to the other side of
smokes
the
will
map.
come down,
GN on
and
his
then
own.
those fawns will come
Try to
down,
hold
and
down
you
their
can't
spawn.
fast flood, and then someone gets
But
isolated on
Boom was
site.
playing for
Kind of similar
contact
to what happened last round, to be
from Dish,
honest. But I
essentially.
don't think the
Now
fawns were
DOS9
actually there to stop them
sliding
from
over.
pushing
Now they're
through.
thinking about A main instead.
The drone trying to get some interest over here on this side of the map.
Okay, drone fake over
Three-player
towards
stack here
B,
today.
and
Both
these
side
three,
eyes straight over towards
these
drop.
3 are
Fans
having
get
none
the
of it.
shot. Kame gonna be eliminated here. Shiro nearly caught at the door, but holding it here for the moment. DOS9 finding one. Shiro going to be taking it out at the same time, and now Spike on the ground. They up over the top.
Yeah, it's
Only can
nicely
find
handled
one.
from Boom here.
This time it's 3
I
members of
like this
Boom
from
surviving.
Famous. I'm pretty
They
sure
once again
he
stretch the lead.
is
Yeah, it
just
takes a little too long
calling
here for DFM.
to not even
to put
rotate.
this
He's got
A-hit
it on lock.
together.
There's
By
not
the
that much
time they
pressure. It's
do,
only a drone.
Boom's already taken control of A Hall, and GN's a bit late to
DFM
clearing
win
that
one, they
angle
lose
that
the
DOS9
next.
is at. So they kind of think like it might be free because they haven't heard anything through there because the door never
Boom,
got
nah,
open.
they're playing-
but
they're
DOS9
playing
actually
good.
came through the site onto A main. He found the timing before DFM
There's a
got
chance for
into
NRG
position
to go
get
to
the
Toronto.
identification that he was doing that.
It's small, but there is a chance,
Got
yeah.
Jinboon caught
It's really small.
completely
I'll
flat-footed.
tell you what, they would have to play
Comes the
better
utility.
than they played. So.
Attempted push out, but thwarted. The other side is where
Oh.
DFM wants to be.
Hey, just trying to ride the pathway
Like,
there.
like
but
if they play like that,
it's a
then they're not
bunch of
going.
Damage, and DOS9 just hits a hell of a headshot at
But
range.
did they show a lot of improvement? Did a lot of
Now
their stuff
set
make
to try
sense?
to flush things out.
Yeah.
Probably timing a little bit off for their GN, able to find one, but Shiro
Was there still some rough
back
stuff?
here,
Oh,
keeping
for
things
sure.
as even as possible, finding even more.
Dude, this is on lock, man.
Looking for that quick hit, but as soon as May falls, it feels like the wheels came off the round. Boom now 2 away from closing out their map pick.
Yeah, you even used the Armageddon in that round. I get it though.
The
'cause
train
you're
tickets more
cycling,
expensive
you
for
do have,
Paybreaks or NRG? More
GN
expensive for
and Jinboon's
Paybreaks.
ults, so makes
The
some
train's
sense to try to
fully
go
booked,
for it on this
man.
Drifty. You need to change the
People are
change
desperate to
the
get it.
dynamic
People are so desperate to
here
get on that
this
train.
half, 'cause
People
so
are
far, the
working.
defense has been very steady for Boom.
People are on the roof.
Just seemingly
I mean, he's
reading pretty
working
well,
just to make sure he's on the
finding
train.
those corners where they can tuck in and get those kills, and therefore DFM.
That's a
wants to take a
stacked
time out of
one.
their own.
It really is.
It's been rough, you know. Because they decided to go for the 4 spy, the economy got set off balance very early. That cost them a lot of rounds, and now they're in these swings where it's if you don't win the gun rounds, you're back on an eco. And that's put them in a very uncomfortable position, and it's going to take some really nice play to get them over the line here. See some frustration on the faces of some of the DFM players, of course.
Paybreaks really go
Well, now
over
they were looking for
RQT1
this
DRX
stage.
Boom. I think I have more faith in them doing
Boom.
that than NRG.
Yeah, you know, got
Someone said NRG had
pretty
to
well
be
handled,
G2
frankly,
or
on your
Sen.
attacker side. I mean, 6-6,
Sen's
but
doable.
most teams want to be positive on the attacker side, but this defender side has been very, very strong.
But only if they have an
Again,
off day
hand
and if NRG
just makes
play
things so
a
much
bit
more
better.
difficult. They didn't. Boom also didn't bite on that attempted fake sell by Akame on the other side of the map, so they're really, really drilled.
Well, Art, just the sheriff. Weapons for everyone else here. Orbital strike as well as a steel garden online, but an answering orbital as well as a lockdown available for Boom. Key tools for both of these teams.
Boom is just playing pivot. Just looking to see where the hit's going to come from before they make their move. Not much info for them to use. They're not going to see the stealth drone. The door would give it away a bit. But instead, DFM's so far. Now they're going to open it, it looks like.
Flash through, door
I mean, they
opens
just got
up.
good retake ults.
DOS9 nearby. Breach now getting in position. NC Slasher just going to be setting up the fault line, so no orbital come through quite just yet, but will it be the lockdown send? They send their own orbital strike to just try to go ahead and destroy that. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Lockdown no longer in the equation, but still
Get the
DOS9's
spike
ult
over here.
ready to come through. All
And
players from Boom.
what does
pretty much
DOS9 do?
stacked
We
up here
ulting off
at
the
spawn.
stun?
Tap
Yes,
the
we
plan.
are.
Salvo's going to be sent. Orbital strike goes through.
Vice
And
ult for
SGN
anyone
getting
that's
cooked. The
close.
spike now drops
It's
here
nice from
on the
Jingbun,
corner.
though.
The flash through the shorty going to be pumped, and Shiro runs out of shell, so Jinbun able to go ahead and quickly collect a kill. Art scaling forward, looking, trying to find the timing, but Famous at the
Don't
operator.
think we should be doing that.
Sits him down. Now it's 3v4 for DFM to try to defend this post plant.
Still have a relay bolt. This is wise from Boom.
Jinbun needing to absorb this pressure, finds the first, still 2 more players coming at him. The swing, they nearly line up for him.
Jinbun did unbelievable in this
Quickly
round.
trade it back. Now player advantage here in the hands of DFM as they look to go ahead and elongate this map even further, deny Boom from getting up to map point. Concuss not connecting. Berserk's running out of time. Just widely looking to try to make it costly.
Okay.
Cannot find either player.
DFM need a couple more of them. The issue
Timeout
is
works a
the
treat.
3 of them
Eventually
die here,
themselves
so
up to
free
8.
rebuys.
Yeah, I mean,
3 people can
this
have
seems to
low
be
money.
What
There's
is
a
going
chance
to
they get
play into
reset here.
DFM's hands against Boom is to take things slow in the
Kazuzu,
beginning
thank
of
you
the
so much for the
round.
13 months.
Try to assess what their opponents are doing.
If they win,
Boom, I don't
if
mind
they
the
win a
idea at all.
Masters shot,
Trying to set up for a bit of a pivot from their defender side spawn. Wherever the
Appreciate the
attack
prime,
comes
dude.
from,
Thank
but that
you,
means
thank
they're lacking info exactly where that's going to be, and they're going to be a bit late. Now
when
they
we
had the
doing
ults, that's why they
post,
wanted
when
to
we
do
posting
that. They
playoff
felt like they could
pick'ems,
stall,
I
they
need to
could
look at
delay,
it.
they could get themselves
Honestly,
in
I'm
there, retake
gonna.
position.
We'll probably be
But
talking about it on
DFM
Plat Chat
does
today,
have a neon.
but
So they
I'll
can dodge some of that
probably do them on
ability like
Tuesday.
this.
I want to actually like
Check
look
this
at
box
maps. Like, we've got enough
Rolling
data now
Thunder.
that we should be able to work
Try
out
to counter shove them back.
roughly
Relay bolt
who's
a little
winning
bit
what
too late.
maps and
Berserk
who
already
should
gets
actually
out
be
over
winning.
onto the corner. The comic is taken down. Sprays back through the smoke. NC Slasher traded here from May, but Berserk's is absolutely
Dude,
taking over the
Berserks,
round.
man.
3K before finally being felled. And
They
as
know
the
the May
dust and
16
chaos settles
HP.
into a 2v2.
The solid off angle,
May
but
chipped away at. Needs to wait for that door to shut.
the idea was nice.
Found his way across the gap. Gets over towards the site.
No smokes.
And neither team having him.
Yeah, you can't
Salvo's
cover.
back up for Shiro.
Yeah, you can't cover this entrance for May. That's why he has to stop. They need to figure out what's going on around them. He's afraid when he tries to go towards the site, he's going to get shot, and he's not wrong.
They cut the noise.
Dorotea fade on every map.
Still some doubt. That's why you see Shiro
Yeah, I mean,
heading
it could
back over
fear.
towards that B site, but eventually they're going to have to try to figure this out and get the
It's not
spike
going to be
forward.
bad. I'll say
Shiro
that
just
much
now
for you.
starting to drift back. The
I
swing
mean,
on the
that's
corner,
incredible.
Famous.
They know May's 16
Point-blank
HP.
headshot. Jinbun on the floor. Now May asked to do it all. Lands out into the open. Where does he position? Quickly. Looks to try to exit back here into the hall. Just narrowly gets away from the salvos. Tap coming through. The swing out. Finds the first one. Slides back across the repeat.
Use your
The
pistol.
up and hand with a swap to the classic.
Use your
Famous,
pistol.
knowing how low he was, doesn't have to
Go for
rely
3 shots.
on the heavy hitting
That's a nice try
rifle.
from me.
Pulls it out, puts him down.
4
Boom,
chances,
get up.
and I
map
tell you what, the
point.
money's
I mean, this
money's
is
not as bad as I thought.
just a great outplay by Boom. Finds a good timing with their rolling thunder. Berserks is right there to punish. Finds a huge triple kill. Even though DFM able to slip the net a bit, they have no idea what's going on the rest of the map, but they have to take a pause. Try to wait to see if any Boom players might overpeak. Doesn't happen. And then when Jinbun starts to push out, he just can't quite find the right timing. Famous had been holding that for quite some time. Had initially slipped past the angle, but Famous very diligent with that operator. You almost never see him make mistakes.
Very solid attempt, but one that doesn't
Would
quite go
making
to
champs for
DFM's
Paper X be a
way.
successful year for them?
Big stack up.
I mean, I don't think they would have.
Going to be taken.
We wouldn't have said that at the beginning of the year, but yeah, that would be an
Sure,
incredibly
sure.
successful
Yeah, there you
year
go.
for them, considering where they're at the moment.
Get that triggered. So now
You
everyone
gotta-
in DFM gathered back up on the south side.
Like, if they make champs, they did great.
They're kind of guessing incorrectly, though, our boom, that maybe that would be an A hit then for DFM, but they're spreading the map. They're selling a bit of a fake. They had contact with May.
I think Pacific, this is the hardest it's ever been in
Spike to
Pacific,
figure out
though.
what's a little bit more clear
You got to
looking.
keep that in
Another
mind as
push number
well.
one, DOS9 spotted, stunned up, and still able to just straight forward get rid of May. The attack on the A site getting ready to come through, but the nano swarms hold them at bay here for a little bit longer. Thorn's not sent here from Jinboon quite just yet. Armageddon will look to try to interrupt, but
Wait.
going to be complete. But Jen thought he had a tiny little gap available.
No, dude,
That's going
he
to be a
thought he
costly
could go
mistake.
heaven.
Swing out from rope, DOS9 able to find one. Jinboon going to be taken down. Art at range, the Stinger still able to find one, but he's only got 4 bullets left in the mag.
That's a
That is
disaster
not
the last
nearly
round.
enough.
Yeah, they
As
didn't get
Shiro
enough on the first
absolutely
half, and then
annihilates with
honestly,
another
this.
3K, and boom, take their map 13
I mean, they
to
got
8, and I
Nimbus
can
double
hear the
pistol.
howls from the audience.
Yeah, I
Love
heard
to hear
that.
it. I mean, boom just continues.